I don't even know how to do these intros when Max isn't here. Oh my god. Hi, I'm George. This is the Useless Hotline. TikTok wasn't working out for us. We decided to have our own little business. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Max isn't here, but we've got a like-for-like swap in PK Humble, everybody. Woo! Woo! Yeah, that's my boy PK Humble right there. How are you doing, sir?
I am feeling great. So remind me with my 3 devices and... As you can see,
you have more phones than anyone I've ever met in my life.
You don't meet a lot of African people, that's why.
I should say from the start, I love African people. No, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't watched all the episodes, what the hell are you even doing here? PK Humbaldinho. Let's start all the way from the beginning.
The start.
Do you remember your conception?
What conception? When I was born?
No, I joke. From the beginning of Inside, how did they approach you?
Specs was on there last year.
Oh shit, yeah, are you related or are you just...
Nah, we both just got yellow eyes. That's the only relationship we've got. But me and Specs were neighbours. So he lives up, I live upstairs, he lives downstairs. But that's my have you ever had an old man that's your good friend that you shouldn't get along with, but you get along with well?
Yeah, that's what I call the Sidemen, yeah.
Yeah, that's me and Specs basically. Sidemen. So Specs was on the show, and then Specs kept recommending me, kept pushing me to go on the show. And then I think someone told Specs that they wanted me on the show last year, but then you can't have me and Specs, we're too similar. Yeah. There's too much carnage. So they saved me in a container for later.
Hell yeah.
And then,
just put you in a nice bath. I respect it. When did you find... Because I found out through other means. When did you find out that it was on Netflix? Because they kept that a secret for a long old time from us, right?
So when I was doing negotiations, because I'm a businessman, a venture capitalist, when I was doing negotiations over the show, I basically said something like, if it's on another platform... Ooh, that snow's got me. If that was on another, if that's on another platform, if it's on another platform other than YouTube, I should get more money. And they said, nah. Then I knew, this might be going on Netflix.
Yeah.
And then when I came in for some sort of screening or something like that.
Did you think it wouldn't be going on YouTube then?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going on YouTube, I was sure.
Yeah.
And then I just put 2 and 2 together. But I didn't think that was going to make a big difference. I didn't know how big Netflix was.
So I found out because I did a shoot with the Sidemen in Portugal.
Yeah.
And we'd done a foot golf day, and then we did an abandoned in Europe thing. And then on the way back to the airport, so we'd done the whole trip without any spoilers being done. I already knew that I was on Inside and stuff. And I was in a car. It was me, Simon, Toby, and JJ. And we were just talking about Inside. They're obviously trying to keep stuff close to their chest, but be like, oh, you enjoyed it? And then there was a pause, and JJ just goes, and is it crazy? It would just be on Netflix. And I was like...
And he's like, yeah, you killed it. What was you feeling?
Toby was like... And then Simon went, surprise.
What was you feeling like?
I don't know, because I was like, I don't know if... I think... The same eyes will be on it, but I don't know how many extra, and I still don't know how many extra, because I think once the whole show's come out, that's maybe when the Netflix audience will hop on, and because as of filming this, we're 4 episodes in, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's still very much Sidemen audience. But it's weird. It's so weird going on the literal Netflix app and us
and
being
seeing
there.
Yourself, yeah. It is weird, but I do love it. I make sure everyone knows. But I never really understand the magnitude of things until a year later.
Yeah.
Then I start reflecting. I haven't started reflecting yet.
And it's so weird because this literally happened in November.
Yeah. It was the hardest secret to keep, but I kept it well. I kept it close to my chest. I miss Maya.
You miss Maya?
Yeah. She should be here right now with me sitting on my lap.
How about that marriage?
Yeah.
That was the first time that anything got played over the speakers that wasn't the Inside.
Yeah. Hello, motherfuckers.
Literally, they actually played the whatever the song was that. Yeah, they played that as you walked in. That was cute as hell.
We were so excited to hear that sound, you know. I think it was just a different sound.
We all flipped because we were like all setting up for the wedding, and then that sound played, and we were like, "Oh!"
Yeah, we got. They didn't even get all our preparation for the wedding.
Oh, we
done
were running
so
around.
much prep.
We gave each other roles. Like there was also a bit that got cut where there was an added drama where I was just given the role of baby daddy.
Baby daddy.
There was a whole back and forth. It was like a Jeremy Kyle bit. I'm sort of kind of glad that they cut that bit out. But
that was more Jerry Springer, man. It just didn't end in a fight.
No, that was an insane period of time. But we were the first two in.
Yeah, first two in. It was weird.
What did you think when you first walked in and saw the first thing you saw when you walked in was Maya?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I'm about to get some. And I went wrong. And then I walked in and I saw you and I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting nothing. This guy's gonna take it all from me. I'm pissed. And then Millie kept banging on about how much girls like you. And I was thinking, what did they see in you? I kept asking, like, what did they see in me?
Not even a joke, just kept asking.
Yeah, I kept asking, like, what did they actually see in you, George? But obviously, George online is not the same face as George in person.
What do you mean by that?
You're better online. You look better online.
Whoa, that's
nah, it's a compliment. You're good at Photoshop. Adobe specialist. Adobe specialist.
So thinking back to it, when we first went in, I was in there for like a fucking half hour before you guys even got in.
Half hour?
Like maybe like 20,
no. Remember the time? We don't have no sense of time.
Okay, maybe like 20 minutes or something. But I was like trying to perform to the cameras. I was like just coming up with the most nonsense like shit on the spot. Then when you came, do you remember we all went in and sat around the dressing table?
What did we do?
We were just having a nice little chat, and it was like, then more people got added. It started getting louder and louder and louder, and then it was just the loudest place I've ever been
chaos.
in my life.
That first few hours was absolute chaos. Like everyone's trying to get to know each other.
Yeah.
Dylan's talking about his ranch, and then we just keep tapping each other like, "Hey, this guy's getting crazy today." He keeps talking about his ranch. I'm like, "What? Are you trying to call me Django?" Like I don't. I'm not understanding what's going on here.
Just to be clear, I don't think he was calling him that.
No, of course not.
So basically we went in and we were talking about like what we'd want to spend the money on and shit.
Yeah.
Dylan was like, "Yeah, man, I want to buy a ranch."
Yeah. 500 acres. I want to have some camel on there, some goats. I'm like, bro.
We're wondering about how much do you think you're gonna take from this prize fund?
In Texas as well. But he said it to remember, like, what?
Every single person came in.
10 people came in. So he said that story 10 times plus times 2. Because he told everyone the story twice. So how many times have you think I've heard the ranch? 40 times. Great maths.
Yeah, he was really commanding conversation on the first day.
Yeah. And then it just went downhill, unfortunately.
No, I think that was obviously the first elimination was Dylan.
Yeah.
I think I was not surprised, but I was like, oh, I kind of, because obviously only being in the house, everybody was like, and obviously it's cut down from 24 hours to an hour. Everybody doesn't see bits, does see bits. I think Dylan, we all got on very well with Dylan. I personally played like a lot of darts with him. I played a lot of table tennis with the boy. We got on really well. I think the first elimination, DDG's reasoning, I guess, it came across like it was, we just went to sleep early. But I think, as well as me as well, I don't think I was very similar to a lot of people in there. But yeah. I think because he had this routine, I think it seemed like he wasn't getting involved. Yeah. Which some people have said is harsh. It is harsh, but it's just like the game. Like you kind of have to find a reason to vote someone, and at that point, DDD just come in like late and has sort of seen everybody getting along, and then there's someone who, I guess that's just like the easy option, I guess.
Well, he was thinking about voting for you, and then I told him, "Nah, that's not an option."
Was he actually?
Yeah. He said, "Oh, what about George?" And I was like, nah, George is cool, man. Just give him
that early on, did he actually?
Yeah. He was in the firing line, and then obviously I gave you a little CPR, a young CPR, and then like that just got nullified. But obviously that wasn't in there. But what you got to remember with me, I do tell a lot of lies, especially when the mic's in front of me. I can't help it, bro.
So that was a lie?
Nah, that's the truth. That is the truth.
What the fuck is going on?
I'm just putting the disclaimer out there. Just putting the disclaimer. But yeah, a lot of viewers are forgetting that it's actually a game.
Yeah.
But you weren't playing a game. I don't feel like you was playing a game.
No, I was actually just living my life.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to spend any money. I'll just see what I can, like how long I can last with just not eating any meal upgrades and stuff. And of course, you were playing the exact same game while you're in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was not spending any. I wasn't spending pointless money. I was spending grands on grands. But
what is funny though is when at Whitney's party when it was Patrice was announced as the lowest spender and you were announced as the highest, and Mandy gets up and she's like, I knew it, and like the audience have seen that as if that's all of our reactions. Everybody knew that he was spending.
The highest.
You were kidding no one. That chocolate bar thing. Did you think you tricked people with that?
I actually genuinely thought I tricked people, and then
you watched the edit back and it's like, bro, you made it so obvious.
This is so bad. This is Nollywood acting. Like this is the worst of the worst. Like I was like, I thought I did something here. Like I thought it slapped. And then when everyone was like, when they announced me as the highest spender, I believed that I weren't, and so like I was in so much shock. Like there's a clip of my face, and I'm just like this. But I'm thinking,
who the fuck would have spent more than you?
I'm not even, I don't know. But then I'm also thinking, cool. That means I'm going home. I'm pissed. I'm like, oh my god, I'm going home.
That was a crazy thing. Oh my god, I've spit everywhere. That was a crazy thing because I think in the last season. I didn't watch it, but I think they've said this one was much more game playing, and the other one was like worried about who's spending the money or something. I can't remember, but we all knew that you were spending, yet nobody was like, "Oh, let's get rid of him." It's just such a strange thing. Like,
you know what it is though? I was doing so much dumb shit and making people laugh. Yeah, so it's just like. You need entertainment in there.
You were working that house. You were going around to each person, making sure that they were still on side.
Yeah, I was doing my proper gaslighting there, British gas work. I was a plumber, gas engineer, call it what you want, but I was doing it all.
I'd like to think I was probably one of the only people who you'd tell like a joke or like you'd just lie through your teeth about something or something we bought, and then you'd look at me and I'd be like,
I know what you've done here. And then it was annoying me, you know, because I'm like, I'm not gonna, like, I think I was the first like few hours, I kept tricking people and saying things. I think I said I was a diplomat. I was getting crazy. And then people was actually believing it. And then I'll do that thing where I'll be like, oh yeah, like, can you get me that thing? And then everyone will turn around and then there's nothing there. And then like I'll look around and the only person that hasn't turned around is George, and I'm just like, this is pissing me off now because I'm not getting him. Like this is getting me mad.
It was good fun. But like, yeah, I don't know why nobody was like, oh, can you stop? Like we were just like, oh, I guess that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I think the audience are like, oh, why is he not? Because I at one point found. Have you seen the clip of me? Seeing that Whitney and Maya had just bought a chocolate bar and they walked past.
I haven't seen the clip, no, but I do remember when we bought the stuff, and then I went to you and I was like, oh yeah, Maya and Whitney have bought some things. I think that might have been the sweets that we hid actually.
Yeah, there was a chocolate bar and sweets.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh yeah, like Maya and Whitney, they're out of control. Like I'm trying to. Hey, you looked at me, you said, you think I don't know that you're involved in this? And I was just like, ah, shit.
But in the show, I walk out and. I just walk into the like where the shower camera is, which by the way is crazy. You get in the shower, that camera just straight onto you.
Straight onto you.
I walked into there and I just looked at the camera and went, they think I don't know that they've bought a bar of chocky. And as I walk around, Maya and Whitney are walking through here and they just go like, hello. And I was like, hello. And they walk past them and they think they're slick. But what they cut out was I went over to Millie and I was like, I think they've bought a bar of chocolate. They're probably going to try and like scan it, check the bin in the girls' toilets. So she went in. It wasn't in there, obviously, but it's just quite funny. But yeah, even stuff like that. I don't know. For some reason, it didn't matter.
Because it wasn't money. I wasn't doing it maliciously though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I was doing it in the name of banter. Everything.
That's because I knew that you were just doing it for content.
Yeah, everything was in the name of banter and just having fun and just making the whole house chaos. Like it weren't. Yeah. But then again, it is real money that I'm playing with. So
have you seen? I'm sure you have seen the public's reaction to your actions.
Yeah, they're not too happy with me. They're not too happy with me. But I am a nice person, like so.
This is what I'm saying, and yeah, I think that's why I was like so okay with everything. Because I was like, you're a twat, but you're not a twat.
Yeah. I've got my limits. Nothing malicious. That's it. That's what it is. There's nothing malicious.
Yeah, and you are a good guy. And I think, again, spoilers. In the last episode, you showed that you're a nice guy.
Yeah, I did. You know what it is? I just took to Sinner, and Sinner played the game well. Like not played the game well, but she was just
herself like the whole time. Like you could tell that she wasn't like getting upset. Just try and portray an image, or she wasn't like, all of her emotions were just her actually worried about sending people home or like ruining people's chance at getting money and stuff. So yeah.
So I couldn't do her. Then with you, it was like, I'm not gonna double bluff you. Like it's not gonna work. And that was my problem from the get go. Is like if it gets down to it, I can't bluff you. Like, I can't hold a poker face with you. So what am I gonna do here? And I'm just like, I feel like George is gonna give this to me. Like he's gonna allow me. I remember you said to me, "Are you sure you're telling me the truth?" And I looked at you and I was like, "Yes."
That's what I was saying, because I was like, in my head I was thinking, PK, I know you've been bullshitting your way through this thing, but I know that you're a good guy. And you've produced some content. You've made this show a good show. Just please tell me the truth. Is that what's in this box?
I was thinking, nah, man. I got no choice here. I've got to tell the truth. But what with you and DDG? What was you thinking?
So with that one, so obviously in between hand, I went up 3 times. What was it? 3 times, 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
So you got 2 times in a row to pick the box, which is crazy.
I thought Dylan was. You know when we was doing it.
2 safes in a row is wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then I said to you as well, so you picked both the safe boxes off the bat. And I think that was, in my head, I think I've gaslit myself into thinking that was like the cleverest ploy in the world, because nobody knew if it was 2 or not. I was just trying to trick you out, but no, I think we all just thought it was 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to pick 2 safes off the bat, like, fair play, mate. Just take the safe away with you. But yeah, so I then had Jason afterwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love the boy, but he's got so much money as it is. Like we can chill here. And I was like, there's no way it's going to be safe. It's just going to be eliminated. So I said, keep it. Also, we had the charity match ticket. He already had the charity match contract. So I was like, hey, you've won out of this. Get packing, boy. And then DDG went up to pick his, and the whole time that I was looking at him, I was like, don't listen to a word he's saying, it says eliminated. And don't listen to a word he's saying, it says eliminated. And then it came to the final 5 seconds, and I looked over at the pyramids, and I was like, oh, but that would have been the one that I chose. And then my final thought was, and this is so stupid, isn't it a bit boring if I keep telling people to keep their box?
Oh, yeah, you done yourself. You done yourself.
I literally went, that's the one I picked. It'd be a bit boring if I kept saying keep it. Sure, I'll take it. I'm pretty sure I knew that I was going home by taking it. Oh,
he was so happy with that, you know.
I know.
He's like, yes, I got him. I was like, oh,
so
man.
Like, but you didn't get me. I got me.
It's so dark. That game is so dark.
That's crazy to take. What? Oh, there's only 3 people out with that.
Yeah.
But that's such a shit one to end on. It is. I imagine, I haven't watched the episode obviously because this is beforehand. I imagine it's such good TV.
Yeah. No, even the one where we've got the headphones in, yeah.
That one.
Oh my.
Lights out. That one came out today.
That one was.
I sat down every single one of these eliminations and thought I was the one that was going home.
That one was so dark. Because I remember the music like
Yeah.
was going down, and I'm thinking, cool, we're done. We're done. Like the music, that the tempo of the song was going slower and slower. And then it just flew back up, and then I felt my shoulder just, and then my shoulder went down. Like you could probably see it in my face. I was just gutted, and I was just in my head. I kept saying, "Please, not me, not me, not me." Like I'm not gonna be. And then when I went and sat down in that corner, I was thinking I was done. I was thinking you're getting eliminated straight away. So all the jokes just went. Like there was no jokes in my system.
You just completely stopped.
My iron levels dropped, cholesterol dropped, everything dropped, and then DDG done the next round, and then he looked at me and he was like, "Sorry, man." Like I was like, "Oh man, you got me." Because they didn't announce to us like who it actually was. Yeah. But then DDG was just like, "Sorry, I had to." Yeah. And I was just like, this game was so dark.
That was such a shit one, because at that point I was like, I imagine a lot of these people here would, if they had the chance, just get rid of me. But then I was like, but then they'd probably think that I know. Like just overthinking everything.
Everything. Your brain's just stimulated.
So when I saw you had your light off, I was genuinely like so shocked. And I think I wouldn't have.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been you. Yeah. But you know what happened as well? Me and Jason had that argument. So my thought process was, me and Jason had that argument, so he's not going to choose me because that's too obvious.
No, the argument was after. Is it after you found out he was saying to everyone you're going to snake her?
Yeah, he was saying to Maya that I'm going to snake her, and I'm just like, but even when he did that, it was just like, what are you doing? Like, why did you even do that, Jason? Like, I really couldn't understand. Like, I was just like, and then apparently I haven't watched it, but apparently there's a clip where Jason was like, "I'm gonna make PK trust me, and I'm gonna shoot him in his ass." He said something crazy like, "I'm gonna make him trust me and get him down." And I was just like, "Rah, Jason!" But then at the same time, it's just like, we're playing a game here. But Jason's just so funny.
He's a funny little character, guy, that man. Before we carry on, actually thinking about it, I'm feeling quite parched. I don't know if you are. Would you like a beverage?
Yeah, I would love a beverage.
Well, here at the Useless Hotline, we don't have files in our cupboard. Don't be silly.
We've got beverages in the cupboard. So is it lukewarm? Damn, chingy ching.
Oh, it is all just lukewarm. Oh, BKs and just half that stuff needs to get in the bin, I think. There you go, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Same colour as my
there we go.
Jumper.
I might join you actually.
Ah, nice. How are you gonna open it?
Pick an item on my table.
Stapler.
Okay.
There's no way you can open it with a stapler.
There we go.
You see, told you. He can't do everything. There's no way you can open it with a stapler. Look at this. Watch this.
Wow, there's two types of people in this world.
Staplers and suckers.
Oh, pause. Do you want to label yourself as well?
Pause. Enter.
Back to that challenge though. So, I think when they said when we went in, you'll go to the elimination bench, I was like, that's an interesting way to do things, because if they were just going to get eliminated, why make them hang around? So I was like, okay, I think there may be some form of secondary choice that's going to happen here.
I'm sure. My hands were straight in my head. I was done. Like, I was done.
Then when they said, even after thinking that, when they said, right now everybody put your headphones and your blindfolds back on, I was like, oh,
gone again.
It was horrible, and the fact that D got picked twice as well.
It was mad. And then there was one stage when him and Patrice were like talking to each other, and Patrice looked at him, but he looked away. Then he looked back, and then I was like, "Oh, Patrice got him. Yeah, like, Patrice has got him now."
Yeah, D said he thought he got him then as well.
Yeah, and then he survived it.
Chose me. You said I was moving around loads. I wasn't even moving.
It's just that you're so paranoid at that time that every little thing
Genuinely, you second guess everything, because the whole time I was there, like when you're listening to the headphones and stuff, I was just like squeezing my hands together, and I was like, please just let this moment be over. I don't want this anymore. They take your headphones and your blindfold off, and then it's an even more tense moment where you're just trying to say to this person, I didn't pick you. Please don't pick me, because that means you're going home.
It was...
No,
but then you've got to... Nah.
Because as well, actually, what we said afterwards was... For part of your thing, did you say who would I pick if?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'll be completely honest, I'd have picked Patrice.
Yeah.
and then they both just hopped on it, and I was like, well, now
that means
it's like not narrowed it down.
No, but I think before that conversation was before, innit? When everyone was saying who they would have picked.
That was once you'd been
I was
chosen,
gone, yeah. And so, I think everyone said Patrice, innit?
Yeah, so I said Patrice. I gave a reason, and they both just went, yeah, same.
Yeah. And then now Patrice's head was fucked.
So he went in, put his headphones on. He was like, of course I'm going to get picked. And then that was, but then, you get saved.
I got saved.
You got a lifeline.
When I got saved, yeah, I don't know if I smiled, but the smile in my heart.
Before we started speaking, did you think we'd save you? When they said, you have to pick for one of your...
I thought Jason might not. And then I was thinking, strategically, DDG might not pick me as well. Just because he's thinking, I might end up winning.
Yeah.
Because I thought if I survive this, I've got a good chance of winning. So I was thinking, you know what? I'm not going to be saved because I'm a threat. In that position, if I was you lot, I wouldn't have saved me because I was a threat. Because I was cool with everyone.
But that's the thing. I was at no point throughout that thing was I've been like, this person's probably going to win. I should probably get him out. I was just vibing, man.
That's how I voted out Mandy. What about when I voted out Mandy? I haven't seen it yet. When I voted out Mandy and she was just going mad. She was getting crazy, and then I'm just giggling. Every time anyone was going, I was just giggling. I
swear to God, and the amount of like halfway that speech that they show when you're leading up to who you're voting out, they've cut so much of that and left like a big dramatic pause in. But the amount of times that you started giggling, and then because he was giggling, Patrice started giggling as well. And it's like, no, guys, I'm sorry, this is not what I was trying. No.
It's not funny. No, it's not funny. It's not funny. But then then when I said it, and remember we reenacted it. Did they put that in? When we was doing like reconstructions of things that were happening in the house.
Oh shit, yeah.
They didn't put that. Did they put that in?
That's like last couple episodes, isn't it?
So there was a period of time where we was literally just like...
We were so bored, we were watching replays.
Yeah, facts. Watching replays from ourselves. And I think it was a game. It might have been like, do the scenario or some shit. And then I think it was you, Whitney and Maya. And you was holding them on the sofa, on the stool, sorry. And then you was like, fucking snake. And then who were you? Were you Mandy?
I might have been Maya, because was I holding?
Yeah, you was holding someone. You was on the left hand side. I remember whoever was. That was Maya. Yeah, Maya was on the left hand side, and you was just holding this, and it was so funny.
I forgot about that. So good. Oh, all that. I bet all that sort of shit's been cut.
Because we actually, when you come to think about it, we had so much fun in the house.
So much time as well.
Yeah, but we made most of the time. Like, I think the batch of people we had were very creative.
Yeah, like thinking about it, at no point was I like, God, I wish I could just like scroll my phone or something.
Yeah, I didn't feel the urge. It was
actually quite nice. And once you got your phone back, how long? Like, what was that?
Hedache. I was in the cab for the whole time. Hedache. Everything was a headache.
Turning your phone back on for the first time.
It's a madness. Like boom, 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 boom.
I felt famous as hell.
Yeah, my phone. I felt like my phone was a vibrator. Like it was just going off.
Oh, it was such a. I didn't even message back or anything. I saw my phone. All the things came on. And I just put it down. I just didn't even want to deal with it at that point in time.
I messaged back like the most recent people.
Yeah.
I think I didn't speak to my mum probably till 2 weeks later or some shit. And then she was messaging me, where are you? you haven't come to the house recently. Like, where are you? And I go to my mum's like all the time.
Yeah.
So you haven't been here recently. Oh.
Did you not tell her? Did you actually not tell her?
I genuinely didn't tell her. She's been watching it though. She's been watching it. But there's one time I said my mum's got a prosthetic leg.
This is the. So you said that in the VT at the start.
Yeah.
The interview, and then do you remember you said it in front of Patrice?
And then he was like, "Oh, that was so." Did you know I was lying?
Yeah.
Oh, did I tell you?
Yeah, I knew you were lying because it's you. So basically, Patrice. So PK said he was just sort of being like, yeah. So if I win, I'm gonna give my mum a new prosthetic leg. And then Patrice goes, no way, my mother has the same thing. And then you were like, oh.
I was panicking. We was trauma bonding over the prosthetic leg for like something happened, and then I think it might have even been a challenge. A challenge happened or something happened where we had to stop our conversation.
Yeah.
And as soon as it was done, it was probably an hour long. Yeah, like the pause. Yeah. He still remembered. He grabbed me to the side. He said, oh yeah, back to that story. So let me tell you. So my mom's leg. I'm saying, oh, shall I tell this guy that I was joking?
Because I remember as soon as you said it, well, I think we were all on the tables together, weren't we? And then you just sort of look at me and you're like,
oh no. That's all I was doing. When things were getting tits up, yeah, I was just like, yeah, George, help me. What do I do here? Because you know what's going on, bro. No one else knows what's going on. Just help me, bro. Take me out of this.
Everyone was like, oh wow, that's so interesting that there's two people suffering the same thing.
We were trauma bonding. He's like, yeah, when they cut my mom's leg. I said, no. I said, same. I was like, oh, bro, I'm in a maze here. When do I tell him? So he'll probably see this and then find out that I was lying about the prosthetic leg. I wasn't lying though. One thing about me, I'll tell you a joke, but I won't tell you a lie though.
Of course. Oh, this is the thing. Ted's talking about not telling a joke. You won't tell a lie, but you tell a joke or whatever the nonsense. That lie that you told on Night Watch for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Unprovoked, by the way.
Bear in mind, you still did the good thing, but just decided to lie about how good it was.
You know what it is though? In my head, sometimes there's interest on money. Like it's business. I'm an venture capitalist, so the loan was at actually 13.5% AMPR. So then that's why I added the interest on the loan when I came back. By the time I got back, the inflation on the money went up. So that's how I told everyone it was extra money. But you know what it is? I done that because I wanted to add extra effect.
See, but that was I think the one time that I was like, like, nice job, man. Like, respect.
And then when you found out that I was lying about how much it was you like, oh, this guy's a proper twat?
I was just like, why? Like, what's the actual point? Like, because if you came back and told the truth, everybody's reaction would have been the exact same.
No, but I think I said 10 and then I lied and said, I think it was 10 and then I lied and said it was 20.
No, it was 10. You lied and said it was 35.
Oh, shit.
And then you woke up the next day and went, oh, could have been 30k richer. It was just all over the place.
It's business, man. At the end of the day, it's business, and I feel like that helped me a lot, because then people started realizing in the house, this guy is not. He's untrustworthy. He's not trustworthy, but he's got some sort of mirrors. Like he's checking his mirrors here.
Yeah.
Everyone was loving it, and then that game as well. That's when we found out about the fucking snake thing. With Whitney and Jason.
Oh yeah.
Jason's a fucking rat.
Yeah. Oh shit. That was that game. So it was. What was that? That's day 6, I think. Was it?
I couldn't tell you.
I think it was day 6. So this is the game where there's a screen. You sit next to the screen and get asked a question, like which insider said this about someone, and then you have to guess who of the rest of the insiders said it, and if you're right, we'd gain money, I think it was. I don't think it was a losing money challenge. It was a gain one.
Gain money.
Yeah. And so many of those questions were like targeted at me.
Yeah.
Who said this about George? Who said this? And it wasn't. Well, I seem to remember one of them wasn't even like phrased towards me. They'd point someone out, and then in the clip it just said someone about me, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is insane."
Do you remember in the clip where Maya and DDG were like, "Oh yeah, George needs to go," or some shit like that, And then in that clip, Maya was like, yeah, PK said the boys are going to vote out George next. Then I looked at George, yeah, but George is not even, I don't even think you realised it.
No, I did. I realised everything that was happening, but I was just like, I'm gone. I guess I'm gone.
That's what I'm saying. You have 9 lives or a cat, because we was conspiring against you. It was like, yeah, like if it gets to the final, we play a game. George might win the game. Like not George might. George is gonna win the game. You can't bluff him. And Mafia as well. Mafia was the killer.
That's why I've said this when I've been reacting to it on like stream,
and
in my reaction videos that aren't allowed on the fucking YouTube anymore. I was saying that Mafia was people's downfall.
Millie's
mostly because she was good at Mafia, and for some reason Whitney thought that was some sort of like magician shit and decided that was
Mafia
that was the end of
killed Millie. Without Mafia, I think DDG is the reason why Millie went home, because Mafia, everyone was like, we saw Millie in a different light.
Yeah,
Millie was innocent, pretty, just cutting through.
Yeah,
and then we played Mafia and she's just lying through her teeth, and then Farah's just so bad at it.
Yeah,
so you're just like, you know what, cool, this girl, we can suss her out. And I don't know if they put it in, but then there was a bit where I was just like, yeah, everyone was gonna vote out Farah, and I was like, nah, don't vote out Farah, because when push comes to shove, if it's a game or a challenge, you'll beat Farah in a challenge. So, but Millie is like, Millie's diligent. So
you were orchestrated there, like puppeteering.
I was there.
Think of the different amount. You must have been. Were you stressed at all going around thinking about your to-do list of people you had to go and?
No. Every time I saw someone's face,
spinning of like, you're still on my side, right?
I knew I had everyone. And then obviously, I knew I had. So my plan was, I've got the 2 votes from Maya and Whitney, and then DDG gets me the votes from Jason and Sinner. But at the same time, I still got to keep my relationship sweet, and I knew I had your vote. So I was just like, yo, I got a lot of votes here. Like, I'm like, even if people want to turn on me, you're not strong enough. And then I realized, don't be too close to anyone, because allies will get you killed. Guilty by a joint association. So I had my plan, but that wasn't my plan from before. That was my plan when I got there.
What was your plan from before?
I didn't really have a plan. My plan was just to go in there and vibes and just have fun. And then the longer and longer, I never thought I was gonna win.
Yeah.
Like like not once did I go in there thinking, you know what, I'm gonna win this. And like I'm never fortunate enough to win things. Like I've never won the lottery. Like I've never won a bingo. Like it always is like I get close.
A lot of people do win the lottery, yeah.
I get close, but just never first place. So I always, even when we got to the final, and then they put us in when we done that first challenge, I was like, cool. There's another challenge now because there's 3 people that are gonna win. So I didn't know that it was gonna be 3 people that win.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that they're gonna do another challenge and 1 more person's gonna go.
Yeah.
So then I'm sitting in the room for ages. They gave me food. I'm just listening to music. I'm annoying the lady for time, just chatting to her. And then they were like, they put me in the room, and then I'm seeing the setup of the room. But I'm thinking, cool, in the box, this box must be a part of the challenge.
Yeah. Then
they're saying to me, yeah, like, yo, but I'm kind of clocking on that I've won. But it's still not like, it still ain't sunk in yet. It still ain't sunk in. It was weird. It was so weird.
Because so obviously Sinner went in first.
So I didn't know who was coming out next.
Yeah, so then you walked in, obviously you knew Sinner was in there. Did you guys speak at all? Be like,
Sinner was just like, PK, you're here, man. Like she was excited.
Yeah.
And then when we was coming, I think Maya spoke. Like when you know the little challenge, you know the little before you get into the challenge arena and you see someone, Maya spoke, so I already knew Maya was.
That's so funny. Of course, I think it may only be her that in that scenario should speak so everybody could hear that she was there.
Maya's miles off it. Like when we was doing the challenges and they're explaining it to her, they're giving her an army of TAs. to explain her the challenges, but it was just so funny.
They've probably cut it from the. I don't know if they can edit around it, to be fair, but the final when you do your split still. Firstly, did you think everyone's going to split? I assume you did think.
Yeah, 100%.
So because everybody backstage, so we were watching. I don't know if you knew this. We were watching it on the screen backstage, all of us. Every person that was like in the house.
Yeah.
You know, we all came in afterwards. We were watching it on this screen, and all the crew and everyone were like, "Yo, do you think PK's going to split? Going to steal? Do you think he's going to steal?" And I was like, "No, he's splitting." And then like some of the people were like, "No, I reckon he's going to steal." Obviously, Mandy was like, "I think he's going to steal." I was like, "No, he's splitting." He's
it didn't cross. To be fair, it did cross my mind for content, but I was just like, that comes across. That's not good content.
I think it's a nice way to end the series for you because you've done a nice thing for Sinner. You've, I feel like you've not done anything. You've not spent money just to be a twat. It's not been stupid, expensive things that you've bought.
Yeah, I've spent money like the jiggly ball. Did you know I'd done the jiggly ball?
I just assumed if anything had turned up, it was probably you.
Yeah, it got to that stage. Like all of them kind of stuff. It was just in the name of banter. But it can be deemed.
Still a lot of money that's probably gone in the name of banter, but
100%. But banter is expensive. It's not free. It's not free. Like so.
But yeah, I think if you ended it by stealing,
that makes me a cunt.
Yeah,
like
you've cemented yourself there as this. You were going up for an arc and then you've just
gone down. I feel like that makes me hit like, yeah, you know what, this guy's actually like he's not a cunt. Like you can tell I'm not a cunt.
Yeah, and like that's why I was like, hey, keep your money. I know you're, and like because I think what people obviously gets cut is just the normal conversations people like get along. I think one of the most just normal conversations I think they've kept in so far that I've seen is, you know, the one that was me, you and Patrice, and he's just talking about his experience with football and he was talking about when he went to Sicily and he was 17 and they'd never seen a black person before. Yeah. It was just quite nice, not a nice conversation, but it's just like a normal sort of just interesting doubt, like just
and you wouldn't normally have a conversation like that with Patrice Evra, like you know.
That was insane. Because what they've cut is when we initially first saw him. So everybody walks in, and I think Dylan's like, "Oh my god, it's Patrice Evra!" Yeah, and then I think I like pull you back, and I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck's Patrice Evra doing?"
Yeah, we was gobbed, and then all the girls are just saying DDG, and we're just like, I think we walked, and then we just looked at each other. We didn't say nothing. We just looked at each other like, "Are we really seeing what we're seeing?" And then
you don't really fathom like. Not only am I like we are now living with him. I slept in a bed next to him,
and he snored in your ears. What about the night when he went mad? When he went mad on
on the Mi Amor.
Yeah, Mi Amor, you can't tell us to go to sleep. I'm a big man. I've done shows before. I can sleep anytime I want to sleep.
We're not children.
He's a character. He's a character. A lot of. And then remember, he's some of his rogue stories. I'm like, bro.
There are some rogue stories which I am very aware of why they've cut them.
Yeah, 100%. I was just like, bro, not here. If I'm telling you not here, then not here, bro. Like, I'm the last person that should be telling you where to do things. Like, it is not on. Then I remember I think before he left. Yeah, it was definitely before he left. I was like to him, you know, Dylan's a news reporter, right? Fuck me, man, I'm telling him stories.
He literally thought, because obviously I don't think he understands, as much as he is obviously an influencer content creator, I don't think he understands that by you saying, oh, he's like a news reporter, he's not just like some sort of
I was telling him he works for the Sun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was telling him he works for the Sun. He's gonna out you out. He's gonna, everything you've said to him is not safe. I was like, what, did you sign anything with him for NDA? Oh no, he was panicking, bro. He was panicking.
Also said about him because people, I think, were surprised. I've seen a lot of people surprised online that he's not spending money and he, is actually playing the game. Yeah. He was one of the most regimented people. He was like in there for like, oh, I want to get to the final. I want to win, but also I would like to just challenge myself and just have one green tea a day. In fact, I don't need rice and beans. I'll just look at them.
Yeah,
and he afterwards, you know, when he left.
Yeah.
He once I'd been eliminated, curse you, DDG. I went backstage. Patrice was there, and like the first, he's like, "Oh man," and then we sort of like said hello, and then the first thing he says is, "He's just like, what the fuck did you not tell me, man?"
Tell you what.
He was like, "You are moving all over the place. You make it obvious." He was still pissed off. Like, bro would not let it go yet.
No,
he's so good.
He's probably like, when speaking to me, it made me kind of realize that's the reason why he played for Man United and I played for hashtag. Like, he made me realize that the things that the way he looks after his body.
Oh, his mentality is insane.
And his mentality, it's a madness. We was in the gym quite a lot though.
Yeah.
We did gym. They didn't put any of our gym bits in.
Think of the edits. What the fuck?
Yeah,
not cool.
We was in the gym probably like once a day.
Yeah, and then we
sometimes twice.
Yeah, we did a hit workout one
day.
Yeah,
hit workout. That was good. Sinner was in on it.
Oh yeah,
Sinner was proper in on it. And that's the day I think I realized Sinner's got a big bum. Like it was Maya that brought it to my attention as well. You see, this is what women do. They want you. They try and trick you so they can take all your assets. That's what she was trying to do. So we was in the shop, and then I think Maya touched Sinner's bum. So obviously I wanted to see what she was touching because I'm looking out for her, of course. Then I looked down and then I saw a rare bumper that was like a Hummer. You know them Pimp My Ride Hummers? I was like, yo, gang, what? I was like, if I knew on day one, but Sinner, things could have looked different for you.
That's what you've missed out on, Sinner.
Mm-hmm. It's not too late though.
You poor thing.
It's not too late, Sinner.
Okay. Oh, I love Sinner. Sinner's such a lovely gal. As were, to be fair, I think most people in there are I've been misunderstood by the public.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Farah initially everybody misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I think it's taking the same arc with how people have viewed her from the public. I personally think Mandy's such good TV.
Yeah, nah, she's great TV. She's great TV. Hard to live with, but great TV.
Like, and I feel like she knows what she's doing. She's like in that Silent Library challenge, which, by the way, I'm dying on this hill. I didn't laugh twice. I've gone through. I've put it in 0.5 speed. And I've looked it through. It's Ethan's fault. But that Silent Library challenge where Patrice and her are pinging elastic bands against their cars. That was so good.
Yeah, that was funny. That was
the best challenge.
Yeah, that was Night Watch might have been the best challenge, man.
I was in there once at the start. The rest of the night I was just up looking at you guys having fun.
Because nothing, you ain't got no temptations. Nothing can tempt you. So there's no point.
I want to take part in a challenge.
You should have been happy though. But then again, you just got to stay up and just be...
Literally. So I saw Jason was falling asleep, so he kept getting picked on. Do you remember when we pranked him?
When we pranked him and Jason, he woke up. And then when did he drop? No, he didn't fall. But he just woke up and he was just...
But so I started just closing my eyes and just going like that. Just to see if they'd just start calling my name. I was literally just completely awake, but just
moving like you were dozing off.
Yeah.
I broke the set that day as well. When I was running back, and I got like a wood splinter.
That's the thing that people won't know is I've seen a lot of people ask like, how much are the producers involved? How much is it? So I think before and after challenges, you'll get a thing. Insiders, please gather in the living room, and then you just sort of all go in the living room, and then just have to start chatting, and then they'll come in or whatever, and then afterwards, say someone's in a temptation room or you've had a challenge, they'll be like, can you all sit down together and talk about the challenge? Can you all sit down together and talk about the temptation room? Do you think they're going to take it or not? Do you think this? But the bits that were the hardest was when they'd call you for a challenge, you go out off set, and then you're just back where there are no cameras, so they physically can't use any of the stuff you're saying.
Yeah, I remember.
So everybody would start trying to like whisper and everything, and then there'd be like 3 producers on you, like, no, stop talking.
That was the bit that was annoying them the most. No talking now. Yeah. But that's a good thing. That's another good thing about the whole thing. weren't heavily produced. It was barely produced.
Yeah.
So it just leaves you so much margin to do whatever you want.
Yeah,
like anyone that goes on Love Island or shit, like at one of them shows, they're so produced. Go and speak to this person. Go and speak to that person. We didn't get that.
Yeah, it was literally everything was absolutely natural, apart from a challenge has just happened or a temptation is happening. Talk about it. Yeah, because they obviously need the cut back and forth. And have you seen the cut back and forth from the episode that went out today? Jason getting his charity match invite.
No, I haven't seen
it. you know, Sinner was there the whole time going like, no, I know my boy Jason, he's not going to take it. He's not going to fold. And it cuts to him, I'm a fold.
You went straight away. Yeah, that's clean. That's clean.
So funny. But like that reaction, I've seen already, bearing in mind, this is it's 12:30 maybe. And it came out at like 7 a.m. That's the reason I've told you the time. People have already been like, yo, PK and George are the only ones that actually like gone over and celebrated these in the charity match.
Yeah.
Because all the girls just went, what?
Yeah, they didn't get it. Did I get any temptation? I don't think I got any.
I think your temptation was the 10K thing.
On that was Night Watch.
We did do the money bank.
The money bank, yeah. That was actually really nice though.
Yeah.
I was actually upset about that.
Everyone just went, oh, you can have the money.
Yeah, like, cause I think I said, let's rock, paper, scissor it. And like, whoever wins gets the money. Then everyone was like, nah, I don't need the money. I'm looking at you like, yo, what's going on here? I'll take the money. Like, I'm not going to say no. Like, I just threw away 30K with the interest, obviously. So I've gone and stepped up. Then Whitney was like, nah. Just you might as well just have it because you got a new place, you want to furnish it and shit.
You're not using that to furnish your place.
Fuck that! I'm spending that money, bro. That is my spending money. And then I was just like, wow, like this group of people are actually like a good group of people.
Yeah, I think everybody is just like, that's why it's like, it's so interesting to see the public's opinion, because like, I think as much as there were people in there that are different, and like I probably wouldn't have crossed paths with a lot of people in there. Like it wasn't like hell living in there. People were like saying like, "Oh my god, it's a group of the most jarring people on earth. Yeah. How the hell did you manage to survive?" It was like people are loud, but we got on.
Yeah.
Like even after the argument that me and Whitney had, afterwards they've cut this from the episode, but afterwards, I went over to her and was just like, yeah, just so you know, I wasn't trying to say that I think you're a mean person. I was just saying, be careful how it comes across. I maybe raised my voice a little bit, but like, I don't think you're a bad person at all. Like, and she was like, yeah, I appreciate that. And we had a little hug, and then that was sort of like the end of it, until I tried to vote her out. So
Specs was like, to me, like last year when he was on there, the dynamic, because obviously he came into the house.
Yeah.
The dynamic was completely different.
Yeah.
Like our dynamic was very together.
Yeah.
Very fun. But their one was like,
it seemed like there was a lot of cliques and sort of people were going around, and it wasn't like a...
Yeah, everyone was just doing everything together. Literally everything was done together. Wedding, the games, I wonder if they kept the sticky toffee game. Stuck in the mud.
Oh shit! Yeah, we played Stuck in the Mud.
Stuck in the mud.
We played Stuck in the Mud. We had a massive Nerf gun fight.
Oh, that Nerf gun fight! I still got the Nerf gun, in my house.
Actually?
Yeah, I still got the Nerf gun in my house. That was sick. We played a lot of games, and then what other games did we play?
Oh, we were playing like
basketball, the 21 basketball game.
Oh shit! Yeah, we were playing that like. We were playing like
Slap
volleyball
with you got to jump up,
and it really highlighted how the lack of hand-eye coordination in that house. Like Patrice would hit it up, like you'd hit it up, I'd hit it up, and then someone would go like
bang,
and we lost. I think that's why we lost a jiggly ball. We had to buy another one,
yeah,
because it went over the set. The amount of times that I want to know this. Did you throw table tennis balls over the set or something?
No, I didn't do that.
Because we definitely lost table tennis balls.
They were taking stuff, definitely.
The bats were gone at one point.
Yeah, they were taking.
Did they steal a kettle? Or am I?
Yeah, they took the kettle.
The kettle just went.
But you know what I was doing?
That was what I know why the kettle went. Because Farah was put iced coffee in it.
And then they said you can't do that.
So when they gave Farah her iced coffee in a big cube, she was pouring loads of water on it to try and thaw it out, but it still wasn't completely thawed. So she then who put it in there?
I can't remember who put it in there.
Seems like a you thing to do.
Nah, it might have been my idea. You know?
Took the top of the kettle off, put the coffee inside the kettle, and then turned it on. And they went, "I don't think that's a very good idea." Do you?
Yeah.
And then they just stole our kettle. We just weren't allowed a kettle anymore.
What else did we do that was mad? There was some other mad things that I can't remember.
There's a few times that we just had no access to water because the water dispensers were literal, just like things like this. But to the audio listeners, things like this, I pointed a classic office water cooler. You'd push your cup through
and it would just
try and like pull it off, and the whole thing just fell, and we'd be like, "With me water."
Darts. We played table tennis a lot.
Yeah,
though.
So much table. We got good at table tennis by the end of the week.
We played table tennis so much. You was just smoking me, but every time I'm watching it, I'm looking and I'm saying, "Oh, I look like I'm winning here." You know,
I know.
I'm getting the upper hand here, but I was just getting smoked left, right, and center.
In my head, I was thinking, "God, they're gonna make so many. I'm gonna make the edit so many times of me just playing table tennis. Like, why the fuck would that make the edit?"
No, but in behind the conversations that people were having in the living room.
Oh yeah.
I saw it a couple of times. I was moving like Roger Federer. I swear to you.
Oh, but yeah, it's there's so much that I'm watching it back. So much I've forgotten as well.
And I said to myself, when I come out of the house, I was gonna write down everything that happened. But we went out that night, and then.
Oh, we need to talk about the leaks, because we need to talk about the leaks because we obviously all entered the house. There was then the reunion, which was for people that don't know. Can't talk about the reunion, I don't think, will we?
No, I think the reunion will come out Monday.
Yeah, reunion's out Monday, I think. Yeah. So there is a reunion episode which is yet to come out. So go watch that.
Has that even been announced though?
I'm pretty sure it's on the. I can quickly check on Netflix. I think.
If it hasn't been announced, we can't even reference it.
Okay, I won't even mention.
I
won't even reference the union. Okay, so once it all ended and we all came in and we sort of celebrated, woohoo! We then DDG. I think was it that same night? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That same night was performing at Tape in London, and he was like, "Yo, gang, pull up if you want to go. If you want to see the DDG perform." It was a bit weird. He called himself the DDG, and so we were like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." Right after, everybody follows each other, which they did explicitly say don't do. But I had, I think, like 9 follow requests in the priority section of my notifications. Just like Whitney Adebayo, PK Humble, like just like all the way through. I was like, okay, then it looks like we've scrapped that idea. And then obviously Patrice Evra following us is probably like a big.
He didn't follow me.
Has he not followed you?
Nah. I don't know. I think he found out about the prosthetic leg. I think he might be mad. I think he might be mad at me.
Anyway, so after we've all followed each other, we then go to Tape, where we pull up in the craziest blunt rotation of all time with Patrice Evra, DDG, PK Humble, George Clarke, Sinner, Jason. Whitney was there, I think. Maya was there. It was like, in fairness, out of everybody there, it was why the fuck is Sinner, Jason, and George at this thing.
Yeah.
But we turned up, and I don't think any of us filmed anything. Did we?
My hand accidentally slipped, and then I posted it. But obviously, I wasn't told I'm not allowed to be around people that I know. I wasn't told all of this stuff. Don't follow and rare to like. But I didn't think people would But I think
people hopped on it quick,
Yeah,
literally
so quick.
I think that same evening somebody made a mock-up image of what really well edited together
Yeah.
image actually.
I feel like that might have been the Sidemen, you know, that just did that.
No, that it genuinely like just somebody had edited that together.
Is it?
Yeah, and people went, "Oh, I guess this is the cast."
Yeah, because I remember I flipped the camera and then I was just like, let me get myself in here just in case it goes it goes well.
Just in case it hits every side of Twitter.
Yeah, it was all over Twitter. I was just like, man, am I gonna get in trouble for this? This is all me. This is my doing.
Somebody else filmed something though. I feel. I think.
Can't remember. But my Snapchat, people are saying my Snapchat is the Sidemen leak right now. Like they're like, if you want to know anything that's going on and want to leak, because I love Snapchat.
Oh,
anyone's
you're
watching
all over Snapchat.
Yeah, anyone's watching, add me on Snapchat.
That's the point, because is that your main social media you'd say that you sort of post on? Because you don't class yourself as like a YouTuber. You don't like do it. You'd say you don't want to do YouTube and stuff.
I do want to do YouTube, but I'm lazy. I'm so lazy. But I just love I love Snapchat.
Why didn't you stream or something? That could be good.
No, because you Snapchat, you can stop. Like when I speak, sometimes things I say is not good. So I need to be able to say the not good things and no one can hear me. Like my intrusive thoughts. On stream, I can't say my intrusive thoughts. That's a clip.
That's so true, actually.
Yeah.
So what are you doing after this?
Streaming. But then like my intrusive thoughts, I'm going to suppress it. Everything that I want to say that I shouldn't say, I'm going to say it on my way to the stream. So it's out of my system.
But just to people in the street.
Yeah, we was doing that the other day. Did you see me the other day?
Oh yeah, I don't know if that video's out. I think they said April 6th that comes out. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe cut the date. That video's not out yet. But we did a Sidemen shoot of sort. That's been clipped up from people's Snapchats.
My Snapchat in the pub. Yeah, thank you. Keep adding me on Snap. I love it.
But what's next for PK Humble then? Since off the back of the show, you're not wanting to post on YouTube?
Yeah, I'll probably the following week I'll have some sort of YouTube content. I've got a football video. Editors are fucking pricks, man. They're fucking pricks. Every editor that I've encountered is a fucking that I've worked with. Like every editor that I don't work with, so good. Every editor that I've worked with is a fucking bozo. Like they just don't know how to.
Where are you finding these people?
Fuck Viva Street. That's the problem.
Viva Street.
You don't know Viva Street?
No.
Do you know Viva Street? Type in Viva Street. It's an escort.
I was gonna say, producer Callum will know most sort of
no, but you see
services
me.
That you find edited.
Whoa, wait.
You'll know most services where you find editors and producers, etc. So to not know something, but yeah, no, that's
no, but I'm trying to find someone that's gonna understand. Like I don't want, because my jokes sometimes go over people's head because obviously studied at Cambridge, got a master's at Oxford. So I need someone that's gonna understand what I'm doing without me having to like direct you too much. Like you might miss certain, and then
I get what you're saying, because you're a lot of your stuff is just delivered very like candidly, just like it's a normal sentence, but that is the joke. You're just being a fucking idiot. Yeah,
and then you've just got to like, and then you got to be able to move fast. And I want quality as well. And I want low prices. That's the thing, though. I want low. That's the problem.
How much do you want to charge for a YouTube video?
250.
Yeah, no, you're.
I identified a problem.
I found your problem.
Yeah, that's the
250.
I'm
I'm looking for like 18-year-olds up and coming. Like I want.
Whoa, pause. That's a clip.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, he wants to pre-order some 18-year-olds.
This is what he can't.
I'm looking for
Uni graduates.
graduates, unexperienced people that were willing to learn with experience. I want unexperienced experience. So you're unexperienced as in you haven't worked with a lot of people, but you've been doing your trade for a long time that you're actually good at it. and then we can build
since their
together.
15th birthday.
Exactly that. So we, and then we build together. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want someone that's been there, done it all, and gonna charge me an arm and a leg. I wanna the same way my subscribers on 0, you wanna charge me 0. If my subscribers get there, then you get there with me. That's the thing. That makes sense, no?
No, I see what you mean. But I'd say don't shoot for the stars and ask for
the moon.
And ask for 250 quid for them to do it.
So
or unless there's people out there that are watching that would like to do that.
Yeah,
you never know.
That would be good. And then maybe you know what it is? I'm a I wouldn't say perfectionist, but I want to do good things.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do nothing that's shit. Like I don't want to do too many like sit down videos. Like I want to be creative. Like I want to like stimulate my brain.
So like of the shoots that you do like Pro Direct.
Pro Direct, Foot Asylum, but like they're good because it's sit down, but you're with like 3-4 other people.
Why don't you do like a studio video then, like something like that?
Yeah, but I need a concept then.
You can go to there's concepts going through the roof here.
And then that's another thing as well. When I'm not gonna pay no one to come on my thing. I'm not paying you. You're coming on for free. And when you're doing things for free, people tend to be a bit slow. I'm not available on this day. I'm not available on that day.
If you did inside season 2 cast, try and identify who's the. I don't know.
How many people are going to be free on that one day? That's my problem.
That's why you plan ahead. You find a day.
Yeah, but then if that day comes now and you tell me that you're not free no more, I'm going to think you're taking a piss out of me because I don't ever do that.
Like once that day's been set in the calendar.
Yeah, but then not everyone's as organized as us.
I've just remembered something that I would like. I think it's a talking point.
Yeah.
Because I think it's maybe the most money that you spent on one thing.
What was it? The feast.
The 12.5K shower.
That is a problem. That is a problem.
Because I will say
24-minute shower.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, I will say before you say anything, because I've said this so many times. I've said it in my reaction video to the episode. I've said it in a stream with Jason yesterday. I wholeheartedly believe that was a cold shower. It was
100% a cold shower.
Because I went in there, I saw the dial was cold before I even think you saw that I was there, which is a bit. I wasn't just perving on him, and then you were like, "No, fill the water," and literally the water was cold, and I myself showered in that red shower. This sounds so stupid. We didn't know that the red shower was hot and the blue shower was cold because they weren't just. Oh, you turn it on, it's a hot shower. You turn it on, it's a cold shower. They were both just the same, except one of them you had to go into for it to be hot. One of them you had to go in to be cold. Joe Weller said the same thing to me at the Sidemen shoot the other day. He was like, "Yeah, we had the same thing. They only told us like day 2 that you had to go in this one for this one and this one for this one." So, was it a cold shower?
It was definitely a cold shower. Remember, I was singing a weird song that I shouldn't have been singing. I think it might have been like Coldplay or some shit. Like I sang that for 20, but I didn't even sing. I sang maybe a 5-second bit of the song for about.
It was on repeat because me and Sinner walked past like a few times, just like, is he still going?
And I was just singing that bit of the song. And then I remember, I think someone was like, "Yeah, that song's gonna be too expensive to get put in on Netflix." I was like, "Oh, you're not gonna miss my singing." But yeah, what I was doing is I was scrub. I do cold showers sometimes anyway. In the morning, it's good for dopamine. Cause Dr. Huberman told me this. Do you know Dr. Huberman? Oh. Good doctor. Dr. Huberman told me that cold showers raise your dopamine higher than cocaine. I've never taken cocaine, by the way, but.
I hadn't said you did.
Just disclaimer. But yeah, so I do cold showers. So I went in there, like freeze up for a bit, and then I came. I wasn't coming out, but I was a bit away from the shower. Scrub, sing, and then go again. And I just kept doing that, and then I was enjoying it. The dopamine was just going through the roof. I just kept wanting more and more and more.
Because the way that that's been edited as well. I assume you've
I've seen
that,
it.
Yeah.
And then they put it just, I'm out coming out.
You're coming out like giggling.
Yeah, and then 12.5K price tag there, and I'm just like, and then everyone's killing me
as well because it's split 3 ways. That's 3,180 or something like that.
Yeah, that I've lost out on. I lost out on quite a bit of money. Chocolate, I should have never done. It weren't even worth it. It didn't even. That would have been 6K. There was a few things that I kind of regret doing.
So people didn't know these things as well. You could have easily not done these things and won and just had that money.
But you
for
never
yourself.
think you're gonna that. Remember when I done the speech as well? Do you remember the speech when I done? This is actually real money.
Yeah.
I went mad. I'm saying this is real money, even though you can't see it. Just know that this money could be yours. Stop spending money. Then I think I went straight in and spent money. I was like, yeah. I thought I'd done everyone there, but then when I was looking at everyone's faces,
no. This is the thing. When PK was like saying all this shit, nobody was like, "Oh damn, I think he might not be spending money." But for some reason, we were all just like, "I guess that's just the way it's gonna be."
Yeah, I think it was just background noise. It was good background noise. I was doing a good job at background noise.
Also, what they've cut. You said they had to cut your singing. They've cut out Monaco.
Yeah, there was no Monaco.
They cut out the
Oh, I was so upset about that. There's no that dance.
There's only a couple. I'll tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie.
Yeah, there's not a lot of them, and I was
because this man was on repeat. He was a soundboard for the week.
Yeah,
just
told you background noise. I'll tell you a joke, but I won't tell you a lie though. Anytime I got caught for something, that's all I would say. I'll tell you a joke, but I won't tell you a lie though. Sin, I like that one there. And then every time I close my eyes, I wake up and I'm so horny. Hey, I don't know why we kept singing that.
It's so funny because nobody will have any idea what the fuck this is. But you would just on repeat say this shit.
Just go. I'll walk around and just start singing and dancing, singing. Did we play dodgeball as well?
I don't know. I might have done. We did so much shit in that house. Like to think, because I think they are releasing on the inside accounts some unseen bits.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the amount of stuff that will be on the cutting room floor is insane. Because the way that did you know the way they edited it?
No.
So I was speaking to an editor at the premiere, and he was like, "Yeah, so the way they do it is so in the viewing gallery, as all the cameras are on and everything, they've just got people just have a little notepad and a pen, and they'll just be like, timestamp." Oh, 12:35, PK takes a sip of drink. Oh, 12:35, Sinner does a cartwheel. Like, just stuff like that, just all the way through the day. And then they
1 second, 1:54, PK farts.
I'm sure Max will love that. So yeah, they then, from those little timestamps of notes, they then skim through and they try and sort of fabricate the storyline. Not fabricate, but like create the storyline in their head so they can then just go, right, okay, so that thing happened there. I'll just go to that timestamp and then just look at that sort of 10-minute bit of footage. And they make it through that. So there are probably, across 7 days, they would have probably looked at like 3 hours a day. There's going to be 100 hours of footage that just aren't even looked at. And
good footage as well, probably like 6 hours worth of good footage.
But there's genuinely it's so upsetting because there's obviously pros and cons to be on Netflix. Pros, it's just insane and like it's global, it's going everywhere. Cons, there's so much footage that they would have uploaded elsewhere that they just are literally incapable of doing so.
So sad,
but it happens. Here's a question for you, PK Humber. If they potentially were to consider doing a Inside All Stars, would you want to go through that process again? I mean, you came out with 100K, so I imagine so.
No, I'll definitely want to do it, but I think it would never. It's never gonna. Yeah, I'll
would you
definitely
attack it the same?
No.
Would you just be chill? Would you be spending? What do you reckon you do?
Everyone knows me for spending, so I wouldn't spend.
Oh, the redemption arc.
The redemption arc. I would. In terms of like jokes and stuff, I'm always gonna make jokes. But the spending stuff, I wouldn't. But it's just meal upgrades I'll need. I'll limit myself to meal upgrades, and I think I'd still actually now I'd probably still spend. I can't help it. Like it is in me just to do dumb shit. So like I would just, but I think I'd be a bit more smart. Like the Mandy chocolate prank.
Yeah.
I'm not out in it.
I feel like the reason you're not doing that is because you realise nobody believed what. Like you're gonna go in with planned pranks.
Planned, very very much planned, and then I'll probably like plant it and then bring someone in the room and make them like I'll be more strategic with things.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely do it. But I don't think the experience would be the same. I don't think you would ever get a good batch of people like that would get on.
Yeah,
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
That's what I find like so interesting about it, because people like compare the casts, or they sort of say like, oh, I only know like 3 of these guys. Oh, I know like 4 of these guys. It's like, but if you did know all 10/12 people that are going in, that'll be because they're all from your side of the internet, and you've probably seen them all in a video together before, or they know each other, and it's not going to be like a they're going to have like alliances beforehand. Like, well, I mean, I know my best mate from outside. I'm not going to vote him out. Yeah. Like there's so many different like layers to it. But also, as you say, like I think Toby said it on Inside Out. There's no sort of like, oh, we need to get a PK for this season. We need to get you kind of just have to just wait and see what they're like.
See what they're like, because you never know how someone's really gonna be like when you get until you get in the house. You won't even know yourself how you're gonna be like until you get into the house. I saw people saying I was trying to be like Castillo. The guy's 5'5". Why would they want to be like him? It don't make no sense.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that when you first saw that?
That was annoying me, because I'm like,
that rattling you.
Not rattling me, but it was actually it was rattling me. Because I'm just like, what are you even talking about? Like.
Yeah, like, I didn't watch their series, but I feel like his spending nobody knew about.
Yeah, but everyone knew what I was spending on. Everyone.
I think anybody who knew you beforehand wouldn't have been surprised of
the way I'm acting. Yeah. So obviously, it's people that don't know me that are saying this.
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing like people fighting back. No, he's been like that from before. I was just like, yeah, cool. And then they were saying I'm trying to be like Specs, and then like, you don't know they're best mates. They're best mates. They live next to each other.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, cool, but yeah, that Castillo shout is a terrible shout.
I've seen people making the comparisons between the cast,
but it's not even the same though.
Yeah, like people were saying that Dylan's the Joe Weller of the season.
Yeah, Joe Weller. As I said, the good die young, man. Superheroes don't live long. Peter Parkinson, man. I'm telling you.
Parkinson.
Oh, it's mad.
Here's a question then. Who do you think say there's a future season? Oh, they've actually announced that they're doing in a US season.
I see that.
Who do you think would be good? Not necessarily in the US season, if you can't think of any US.
I would say Expressions.
He's the
who's an Expression gap tooth, like teeth don't touch.
I'm pretty sure I know who that is. Yeah,
he's very like, but I think he's got lower iron. That's the only problem. So he might not get to the challenge arena. I think Tyreek would be good. Tyreek that was on Love Island. Tyreek had he's like me and Specs, and then obviously he's a good, very good looking guy. So I think he'll probably be the first person to have sex on there.
See, that's what they're saying. They're like, do you reckon anybody would ever?
I think might have thought about it.
Only thing.
I think might have thought about it.
I think the only thing is a week.
Nah, but bro, I've got girls in less than that, an hour, bro. An hour.
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't think like
obviously because the circumstance.
Yeah, because you're on camera, everyone's like, oh no, we're not on camera, and it's only a week. Let's wait till we get out. Like,
but I genuinely believe that Tyreek's got the ability to do it. I've seen him work some wonders. Like I've seen him do. He's got tricks. He's got Ronaldinho. He's got tricks.
What about girls going on?
Girls.
That's where I think people like it's hard to think of who to put in, because in the Sidemen sphere at least there's not a lot of
girls.
Female sort of like YouTubers etc. that classically get put in.
Oh, girls wise,
I know everyone's lips would be GK Barry. I know Grace would be really good.
Girls wise, Ooh, that's tough, you know. That's tough.
But like someone like Sinner, for example, I'd not heard of Sinner beforehand. She came in, everybody loved her. Like, I've not heard.
It depends on. To cause mayhem is different. Like Sinner's a lovable character.
Yeah.
Most girls are gonna go in there and be lovable. Actually, nah, you know.
The thing is, Mandy, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I really like Mandy. I thought she was like funny. Again, I when Farrah went in, I was like, oh, I've seen her TikToks. I was like, how's this gonna play out? But when you're in there,
it's different.
Like it doesn't matter what you've done before, what your following is, what people think about you, because your fan base might think this about you, but you go into a different fan base there's going to be different eyes on you, because that's just naturally how it is. People are like, oh, but George, you've been in loads of Sidemen videos. They all, granted, maybe I was safest in that regard in terms of not being shown into a new audience, but I had a bloke outside be like, oh, I've been watching Inside, like, so what is it like you normally do? And I'm like, bro, you're hitting a whole different
audience, because you're getting DDG's audience, you're getting this guy's audience. It's mad because people that have never heard of me, and I used to think I was famous. But now I'm famous. I'm in the books with Elvis Preston. It's a nice world. But I feel like, you know what's so mad? I got on the bus the other day, just before the show came.
That is crazy. This guy, look at him. Even after all that money that he's won,
this was before the money came, before the show even came out.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, I just want to do normal things today, because I feel like this is my last chance of normality. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm gonna be famous. So I was just like, let me just do my last, because obviously, like, as man's trajectory's been going up, like, I'm being able to go places and not being recognized less and less. And then I'm like, wow, this is basically my last little bit. And then I'm just trying to do as many normal things as I can before it just explodes.
And that's where the humble comes from in your name.
Yeah.
That's my guy right there.
Humility, the first descendant of Winston Churchill.
Hell freaking yeah, man. And just to round things off in a lovely, wholesome little way, what would you say is the thing you learnt the most about yourself from your inside experience?
I'm a compulsive liar. But one thing about me, I tell you a joke, but I won't tell you a lie, though.
Thank you very much, PK Humble. And what a time we've had. If you did enjoy and you are watching, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, ring that notification bell so you're notified every time we upload. If you're listening on the interweb somewhere, give us a 5-star rating, download us so you can listen to us on the go. And we'll be back with more fun, maybe more insiders. So stay tuned. We love you very much. Gan and ta-ra. Bye-bye.